Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unfiltered Vet Discussions. My name is Kelly, and I'm being joined by Jenny and Phil. We were having some interesting pre-recording conversations because, like we always do, I don't think we've ever had uninteresting pre-conversations to recording, now that I'm thinking about it, saying it out loud. But we want to talk about staff retention and kind of things that we have figured out, because when we started the recording, Jenny and I were talking about, well, gosh, like, how long's your staff been there, Jenny? And Kelly, how long has your staff been there? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's measured in years. I have to sit and think about it, right? It's not like measured in days and weeks and months. And so, like, that doesn't come overnight. Speaking of retention, we'd also love you to like our social media and comment as well, so we can retain you as listeners to our podcast. But between the three of us, we have some ideas, not that it may work for you, but our own case studies of what we have done for staff retention maybe will help you all with some ideas for your own staff retention, or actually your own personal career choice. I mean, it goes both ways. The owners can create an amazing space that makes you want to stay in your job, but that space, I would argue, is also created by every single person who works there. And in my instance, I like to hear from my team. I want to hear what makes them happy. I want to hear how they think they can improve the whole culture and business and have them feel valued. So it's not just a me thing as an owner. Jenny, it's probably not a you thing as an owner. It's an all of us thing, working together to make a really great, harmonious workspace. Thoughts, Jenny?
Yeah, it is. I think so. We celebrate anniversaries at our um, at our clinic, and one of the big ones is 10-year, and then 20-year. We haven't been open 20 years, but we're getting there. But at 10 years, everybody gets a plaque and a gift card to, like, hundreds of dollars to wherever they like to go. So my most recent one, I found out what feed store she uses because it's the only place she spends her money is on her horse. So I'm like, okay, that's great. But then we also have a plaque in our lobby that has, their name and the month and year of their 10-year anniversary. And our wooden plaque is full. We have 12 names, and I hadn't, when I bought it years and years ago, I was like, oh yeah, I'll get one with 12 names because most people don't stay. Well, it's full. So now I have to get a next one for next year for the 3 people that are going to be here 10 years next year. And I think that, we go to all these conferences and we talk to all these people, and a lot of people are talking about, do we need a mid-level practitioner, or, oh, we can't find enough certified vet techs and we don't have enough vets, and we have, such a veterinary shortage, and I have such high turnover. And I think that we can talk about opening new schools. We can talk about, getting a mid-level practitioner. But the reality of it is, if we can keep our good team members, and you can keep them where they're at, and they're not leaving, not just your practice, but the industry, if we can keep them, then we're not going to have such a huge problem with the shortage. Yes, we'll get more vets and things, and all of that will come, but what we can do right now, in the last podcast, we talked about what can we do right now. What can we do right now is we can take care of our team. So whether that means making sure that they get paid properly, appropriately, they get benefits, they get, but really too, that they feel cared for and they feel needed and they have autonomy over their job. Are we utilizing our certified veterinary nurses or vet techs, registered, whatever? But these people went to school, got a degree. They are not glorified animal holders. And I'd be really ticked off if I owed money to a school and all I was doing was holding an animal while the doctor trimmed nails and placed an IV catheter. And I mean, to me, retention is about empowering your team to do what they are meant to do. And I don't know, as a veterinarian, Phil, have you ever had an issue giving up those jobs to other people? Or have you ever really said, like, no, please, I really want to trim the toenails?
Yes. And that problem,
Yeah, it's you.
was me. Yeah. So where I'm going with this too is, as lead, is sometimes, like, if we're not retaining our team, is gotta look in the mirror. Un, Uninspiring and uncaring leaders are one of the number one reasons that people leave. Does my team, do I, and you mentioned it, like, do I feel like I matter here? Do you tell me how I make a difference? Do you let me know when you've seen improvement in me? So yes, I mean, yes, financial stuff, like, there's compensation there, but are you recognizing, am I getting recognition, for the job that I'm doing? Do you know what we've talked in the last episode too about strengths? Like, do you know what my strengths are? And do you see how I use them on a daily basis? And do you give me the ability to utilize those more often? Because then I'm more productive, I'm more effective, and I love my job more, when I do that. What's one of the things that I'll say too is that we've had really amazing retention, in our clinic as well. And we've lost people too. But the people that we've lost, like, you're gonna, like, people that are really good, like, they're really good people, like, there's a chance they're gonna leave, and we've got one you know on veterinary assistant on the job, trained, who, she ran our medical and anesthesia, or ran the surgical and anesthesia department. She's a paramedic firefighter now, and she comes back and works on her day off, on her days off, because she loves working with us. We have students, they went to nursing school, they're nurses, and they come back and they work with us. So it's like that to me is, man, you make a place where they left to go do something better, and they still want to, come back and be part of, the day to day. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's what I love that. So
I think
yeah.
encouraging team members to find their strengths and helping them, that's part of what makes you a good leader, is saying, hey, did you realize that this is an area that you excel at? Because a lot of us, we don't look in the mirror. We don't, and oh, well, I just do that. Oh, I just, am, yeah, I know I'm really good at going over discharge information with clients. I've always been good at talking to people. That is a skill that not everyone has. We've talked before that Phil and I really are not numbers people. And, and I hate inventory. But I have a woman who works with me that she's my inventory manager. She loves it. She loves anticipating, what's going to come, figuring out how can I get the best prices, and, what's the fastest way to get it off the shelf. And I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't, it's not my thing. And so that's her strengths. So, right, my job as a leader is to help these guys find their strengths. And it's funny that you said that, Phil, about losing people. This month, I have 2 people leaving, both
Mhm.
of veterinary assistants, and one is moving. Her family lives an hour away. She misses her family. She misses living there.
Yeah.
That's fine. And she's like, Jenny, I'm so sad I'm leaving. I'm like, no, no, no. This is good for you. Like, I don't just care about what my team can do for me. I care about them as people. So if this is a good move for you and this is going to be better for you, I'm all for it. I've got another one leaving because she got accepted into vet school. What
Yeah.
feels better than to have somebody that you've mentored and watched, follow their dreams? So I think we have to look at our team as people. I think we have to, stop looking at our team as employees and staff. I'm really big on saying team, because without them,
Mhm.
we don't do everything. But also, who are they as people? What is best for them? What do they need right now, and how can I help facilitate that? And if they feel like they're seen and they're heard, then yeah, they want to stay. Yeah, they want to be here, and they want to give, not just stay and come in and punch a time clock and leave. They're invested. If you're invested in them, they're going to be invested in you and in your practice.
Right. You need to know them and treat them like human beings, right?
Yeah.
That's number one. Like, I agree with you, Jenny, 100%. I'm always like, how are you? And I know their story of their life. Let me talk to you. Because you know why? Because I actually really do want to know. It's not because I just am like playing the game, right? Like, I actually genuinely care about the people
And
around me. What?
sorry, I got a proud dad something.
Ooh,
So
Okay.
I got
please,
this message.
please.
So this very person that I was talking about, firefighter Marissa Love, she sends me this like last week. She was on the cover of the Pasco County news thing. So let me see if I can share this. So there was a structure fire, and that's
Oh, she's
Marissa right
We're
there.
working on
She
a cat.
saved that cat. Yeah.
That is a total proud dad moment. That is
Yeah.
absolutely worth sharing.
Like,
It is.
so, and she was like, and she is not, I mean, she is not what's so funny is she reminds me more of me than anybody else I've ever worked with a couple of big exceptions. The challenges, we have similar challenges. She's already way ahead of working on those, but she is very humble. Like, she's not blah blah blah, blah, I am. But she sent me that picture, like specifically sent it to me. I mean, she shared it with it, but she sent it to me and was like, she's like, I just wanted you to see this. And I mean, I cry. I mean, now, I'm 40, like a Subaru commercial hits me the wrong way and I cry, but I saw this and I was done. But that's is like, if this is just an employee and a number on a list, like the fact that we had that reaction, that was there, that's those high quality connections. And it's, that we get to choose to work together. We choose to spend time away from our families to be at that hospital.
I
And
think Peter said it before, like, what's in it for
yeah,
me? When we talk
yeah,
about goal setting, what's in it for me?
right.
I think that people who don't see their team members as humans, as people, right? Like what you said, that we're choosing to spend our time with. The joy that you get from things like that, the joy that you get from when you really know them. I remember when Kayla, who is she's my head CVT, she's been with me basically since we've opened. When she had her son, I felt like this is as close to a grandparent, which I am not. I am old enough to be a grandparent, but we're not going to go there. But I was like, this is like, coming full circle. I've watched this child who basically was in high school, go through school, graduate, hone her skills, become amazing. I was there at her wedding. Now her little boy comes in and, is just the sweetest little thing ever. And it's like the joy that we get, that I get as a leader, as a mentor, is overwhelming and gives me so much. I love coming to work. I love coming to work. I love coming to work even when I don't feel good and when I'd much rather stay in bed. I still love coming to work because I'm with these people who I truly love. And I think that changing your mindset and saying, oh, all they ever do is complain about work and all they ever do is want more money and all they ever do is, stop and say, okay, what can I do for you? And it changes you internally. Like you just, like you said, you cried. I have cried more times in joy from things that happen with my team, that I am so, so proud of them. And it's like having a whole bunch of children that maybe you don't always want to be responsible for, but you still have a whole bunch of children and you get to be proud and have your yes, I'm so excited for you.
We're creating unity and taking away the separations and allowing ourselves, they talk about the human animal bond. Well, there's the human to human bond too. right? And nobody's talking about the human to human bond in the practice that way. Lots of conversation about human to animal bond. But if you allow yourself to connect with others, the joy that comes out of it is amazing. As you create your culture yourself and somebody leaves, they're taking a piece of that culture with them, like a seed, and creating that culture elsewhere. They're taking pieces of that and weaving it in to whatever experience that they have next, which then is pretty cool and amazing because it's like, this beautiful dandelion that has seeds blowing everywhere. And because people can't always reach their full potential in the environment you set because they have spread their wings and they need to go to bigger and better places for them. And it's so cool to watch that happen, right? Like you were saying, Phil, with the picture, she would have never had that experience if she hadn't left and gone to doing something else. You just don't provide it in the hospital that you're in, I'm assuming. But
hopefully you're not fighting fires like that every day.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other fires we fight, not legitimate fires.
Not legit fires.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I think it also boils down to being okay with yourself. You have to be okay with yourself to let others people go or have the experience or have the space. Because if it's always about you and you're always trying to clutch and grab things back so you don't feel loneliness or you don't feel sorrow or you don't feel less than, right? Those are all some of the negative words in that column. And instead you feel joy and exuberance. And how can I help you today? That's the other column. Which one are you going to live in today, right? How do you want to look? It's sort of kind of related to this. I was working on some things for the house and I was going outside my comfort zone. And part of it, I stopped and said, when did I stop? When did I start fearing instead of being excited about the new adventure around the corner? Why am I struggling using a jigsaw and carving up plywood? When did I start fearing? Because you look at children and you look at other people and they're like, yeah, let me try that. It's my turn. I want to do that. So when did we start fearing our teams?
I think a lot of it has to do with we feel such responsibility. And I know that this has been my issue is that I feel such responsibility. And I think a lot of people, if I feel responsibility, I have to be in control of everything. Like if we go down, it's my fault. And so I have to be in control of everything and micromanaging. And to me, if I do take my responsibilities very seriously, I'm responsible for these people who work with us. I am responsible to make sure that they are making enough money that they can, take care of themselves. I'm also responsible for their safety. I'm also responsible, to make sure that they have the knowledge and the tools and equipment to do what they need to do. But I also have to trust them to do these things. And I have to trust them to help with the culture, which is why we have our meetings to talk about culture. We don't just let it happen, because if you let it happen, it's going to be toxic. So if we talk about it and we talk about issues in timely manner, we talk about these issues as they come up, we take care of these things. And I let everybody know that you choose the attitude for the clinic for today. It's not me, because I can come in a great mood, but if one person is like, rah, 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 then that's the feeling of the clinic. So each individual person is responsible for that. And I have conversations about that and we talk about that. And so that it goes back to giving them that autonomy and not being afraid of, are they going to make mistakes? Maybe. And maybe I make a mistake but maybe we make a mistake that inevitably hurts or kills a patient. That happens and it's horrible. So then we learn from it and we say, what can we do together? And I don't make them take the blame all on their own. It's all of us. How can we overcome this? And I think because they don't feel alone when things go wrong, And I know, Phil, you've talked about this before, like when we celebrate stuff, you know, if we need to really feel that and celebrate that and make it exciting, and not just be like, oh, nice job, you passed your VTNE, great, I'm so happy for you. You know, now I need you to pick up these responsibilities. No, you know, you get them a cake, you get them balloons, you post it on social media. That's a huge thing. And so we really just have to celebrate the wins and losses together, and recognition. And I don't know, I just think that if we started looking at internally instead of externally to fix our problems, it would make a huge difference.
We can't give away what we don't have.
Ooh,
Say that.
that's deep.
Say that. That's I heard that in recovery. You know, it's no good to me. Like if I'm, 3 months sober and I'm not doing the things to go on the right path, and then but I'm going to tell you how to live your life. And what I'll say is, as leaders, nothing could be more true, is that if I'm not doing this work and understanding where my fears come from, I will, and you mentioned it, Jenny, is like, if I'm going in and just step out of the way. It's faster if I do it.
Oh.
That is fear-based, 100% fear-based behavior. We can dress it up all we want, but I will promise you that comes from a place of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it's about growth. It's about, this is not, like you said, Jenny, this is an opportunity for this person. How can I be of service to this employee? And I don't do it a lot, but I damn well do it, still. And it's like, and I, every single time it's come from a place of fear.
Yeah. Well, and I think though part of that is you've lived this life, you've seen, you did a lot of work on yourself, right? Like we all do work on ourselves. Yeah. And that's the other thing, as leaders, we have to be able to, see where our fears are coming from. And I think a lot of new vets come out of school, they've only learned technical skills. They're not learning. So I want to do it. I know how to put an IV catheter in. I'm going to do it. And it's like, nope. Now you need to learn how to be a vet and let them do this. Mm. Because that's what they went to school for. And no, you do not need to be making your own appointments. I love it when my husband does that. I'm like, get out of the computer system right now. Put the mouse down. Do not set up an appointment. That's what our receptionists are for. Their job is to organize the day to set our team up for success. Their job is to make sure that our clients aren't waiting because we're scheduling appropriately. Like, it all goes in together, and trusting each person to do their job makes all the difference in the world. But it is always comes back to fear of, if I'm in control, nothing's going to go wrong. Yeah, but a lot of times when we do that, that's when things go wrong, because you can't possibly know everything and not miss everything, something. And I mean, God, we have great teams. You utilize them. That's all I can say.
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it today. I mean, we've covered a lot of territory, but you have great people working for you who are choosing to work for you. They could go elsewhere. Nobody said, hey, by the way, when you graduate, here's your assignment and it's at this place of location. This is your business. Congratulations for the rest of your life. Suck it up, buttercup. This is where you have to be. No, you get to make the choice. So empower yourself. And if this isn't a good fit, because some fits are not good fits, and that's okay. Doesn't mean you're a shitty person. It just means it's not a good fit. Like I always remind people, you date a lot of people, but you find the person that you're going to settle down with. All those people weren't horrible people. They just weren't a good fit together, right? So honor the fit. Allow yourself to realize you do have the power of choice. And if you're a owner or a decision maker or anything of that sort, where you help control some of the bigger visionaries of the company, don't forget yourself. You set the tone. You start the tone. You're the little snowball at the top of the avalanche. That ball goes down the hill, the team jumps on, you've got an amazing thing at the bottom. But don't forget yourself. You matter too.
Yeah, you have to retain yourself as well as your team. If you burn out, we're not any good, right? We're not any good.
So whatever that means for you, don't forget you, right? So we're at the end of our recording session. Thank you for listening today. We'd love to know your tips and tricks for team culture. Please put it in the comments. We're only 3 people. I don't know, what are we up to? 8 billion on the planet now? Something like that. We're in the B's with as in billions. So there's more than the 3 of us. We know that. So other people have great ideas too. Not every one person makes the mold for everybody to follow. We all make the mold. So chime in, give suggestions. Your voice is important too. So until next time, we will say adieu.